So here's the weighted bar that I'm using to do a little bit more rotation. It's right over my shoulder blades, kind of over my collarbone. I'll look at the middle of it. I'll gently let this bar float to the right, and I'll take my gaze to stay in the middle of it, and my left shoulder blade will come off, and I'll slowly come back to center. So let's inhale to prepare, and exhale, go left. So slowly floating the bar left, I'm looking at it, my head goes, my right shoulder blade comes up, and I'll inhale back to center, and exhale, go to the other side. Just slowly rotating the rib cage and the shoulder blades. The hips stay quiet. Inhale back to center, and exhale, go out and over the other side, getting that nice stretch, and slowly come back home. Again, we're going to challenge our ribs. You'll close the ribs below the bra line and make them heavy in the mat. Inhale to prepare, and exhale, float this back, trying to close the ribs, trying to pull them down gently without getting up into the shoulders. Go as far as you can. Once the ribs try to lift, you float back up. Good. Inhale to prepare, and exhale, float back. Make the ha sound to close the ribs. Inhale to float home, and exhale, float back. Pull the ribs deeper into the mat, and float back up and all the way down to your hips, and you can rest. We'll do some little bridges next. I'll run get the yellow ball that I have. I've given you a ball. You'll grab your ball and put it between your thighs. So the first thing we'll do is prepare for bridging. Find the heavy tailbone, find the heavy ribs, and we'll just do little squeezes, and the tailbone will get deeper. It will not lift up in a tuck. We'll squeeze the ball and gently release it. Your knees and hips are lined up. Your feet are lined up with everything in alignment there with your hips. So a little gentle squeeze, pull the tailbone deep, and release. And squeeze the tailbone, go straight down into the mat. Your arms are straight and long by your side. And do 2 more little squeezes, and release, and another squeeze, and release. Now, if you feel like you've got your tailbone nice and deep into that mat, we can do our bridges. So do a tiny little squeeze with the heavy tailbone. Envision there is a face cloth under your bum crack, and your bum crack is going to pull that face cloth up, and with that motion, you'll use your bottom to extend the hips up toward the ceiling into a bridge. And let's squeeze the ball here for 8 and 7. Make sure it's in your bottom and not your low back. So touch your bottom and make sure it's really on. And 4 and 3 squeezes, and 2. And last squeeze, hold it for a count of 8. While you're counting, you're going to pull your bottom up and pull your belly down, pulling the ribs down for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and slowly roll down, pull the ribs down, pull the navel down, pull the tailbone down, and rest. We'll do that again. 8 little squeezes with the tailbone heavy for 8, and 7, and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and isometric squeeze. Pick up the face cloth, pick up the hips into your bridge, lengthening the hips. While you're up here, you can squeeze the heels toward the tailbone, tailbone toward the heels isometrically. And let's squeeze the ball. 8, 7, 6. Deepen your abs and ribs. Turn your butt on. 4, 3. Hips a little bit higher. Abs a little bit deeper. Hold the ball for 8, 7. Just a gentle isometric squeeze. And 4, 3, 2, and slowly bridge down. Now, if you're new, you're probably going to be tired, but you'll build up to this. If you need to take a break, please do so, but we'll do the 3rd set. Squeeze the ball with the tailbone heavy, ribs heavy for 8 and 7. Little squeezes. Use your inner thighs. Feel your bottom start to reawaken. We all have a little bit of gluteal amnesia because we sit on it so much, it doesn't remember how to fire. And 2 and 1. Here's your isometric squeeze. Pick up the face cloth with your booty and it lifts straight up to the ceiling in a bridge. Your butt is on, your abs are down, your ribs are down. Give yourself a little to sandwich the spine. Squeeze the ball, 8 and 7 and 6 and 5, 4, 3, 2, isometric hold, pull, 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 and slowly bridge down. Good, you can take that ball out. You can also leave it in if you like the feeling of the inner thighs on. We'll do a little bit of ab crunches here. So I'd like you to take the back of your hands together and your thumbs will come in between your bra cups, deep down into your rib cage. Inhale to prepare into the back of the ribs. Exhale, nod your chin and pull the ribs down as you slide your thumb down your rib cage. Look at your tailbone, which is heavy on the mat. Look at your thighs and slowly float back down on an inhale. And exhale, come up. So the tailbone stays quiet. Inhale back. Exhale, float up. Inhale back. And exhale, float up. Hold it here. See if you can take your arms to your hips and start pumping your arms. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tailbone's heavy as you inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it here and slowly float back down. We have another option to do your crunches, these little baby crunches. Hands stay on the mat. Inhale into the back of the ribs. And exhale, nod your chin toward your chest and slide your hands a couple inches along, looking at your tailbone, willing it to be as heavy as possible, no tucking. And inhale back down. And exhale, come back up. Lift head and shoulders, drop the ribs. Tailbone stays heavy. Heels and tailbone isometrically pull against each other. Inhale down and exhale up. If you start feeling it in your neck, just go ahead and rest. We want to feel it in the rib cage and the low abs and float back down. All right, so those are your two options. You want to practice those another time, a couple times. I'm going to go back to this rib, the back of the hands and the ribs, digging the hands between my bra cups, feeling the fingers on the rib cage, inhaling into the back of the ribs at the bra line, exhaling chin to chest and pulling those ribs and abs down. Inhale back and exhale forward. Inhale as you slowly lower down. Exhale, use the rib cage to lift the head, neck, and shoulders. Don't feel it in the neck. Inhale. Exhale. Do one more. Inhale back. Exhale, come up. Reach your arms long. Pump your arms for 2 breath cycles. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, get the tailbone and the ribs heavy. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly roll back. Beautiful. So there's your little ab crunches. We'll do some knee sways. Keep your feet hip distance apart. Just drop both knees over to the right, and you'll gently look left. Just a little rotation of the pelvis this time, but under control, the abs are still on. Slowly float the knees back to center and reverse. Legs go left and head goes right. Just a little stretch. Inhale back to center and exhale, twist. Little knee sways and do one more. Inhale back to center and exhale over to the other side and slowly come back to center. Pull your knees into your chest, hold behind your thighs, rock up to seated position looking down. So here we are back up. All right, we're gonna go to a seated point and flex. So you're learning how to sit tall. You always wanna have your shoulders over your hips. Now, if you can't keep your legs long, go ahead and bend them if your hamstrings are bothering you or your hip flexors. So we'll just do a point and flex of one leg. So I think I'm going to let mine go ahead and stay long because my hamstrings are long enough. I'm going to point both feet and flex both feet. You're trying to widen the toes, just like you do when you do your little exercise sitting, where you roll your feet out with a heavy rubber ball, and you're trying to lift your toes. We're doing this again, just a nice point and flex. There we go. So we're in parallel here, but let's try to do it in turnout. So we'll take the heels in Pilates V, sitting up as tall as possible, and point and flex here. So you're learning to use your abs and your back muscles in a vertical position. Your hands can rest by your side, so your hands will give you a little bit of support. And just keep pointing and flexing. And do 2 more in this Pilates V. So your knees are turned out, your thighs are behind you, the side seams of your pants wrap behind you. All right, let's go into Spinal Balance. So we'll go onto all fours. Your hands are under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. Go forward on your mat because you're going to stretch your leg out. So we'll take that right foot out, flexed. Pull your abs and ribs in, neutral position. Your back doesn't move. Your neck is long, looking down at your fingertips. And you'll float that right foot up, parallel to the floor, and tap it back down. And float it up, and tap it back down. We're just trying to wake up your bottom. So don't just use your hamstring. See if you can get your bottom to lift you up. So take it up and tap it down. Your back doesn't move. Lift up and tap it down. Do 1 more. Lift up. Tap it down, draw it in. Let's do the other side. That left foot goes out to a touch point, we call it, where your flexed foot and you're touching with your toes. Pull your abs in so your back doesn't move and float the foot up. If your abs hold the back and your back muscles are on too, what's going to lift the leg? The bottom is going to start waking up to help lift the leg. So float straight up, go straight down. Get that booty to start turning on. And lift, and lower, and lift, and lower, and lift and hold. Slowly lower back down. Let's do that right side again. Let's go out to our touch point. Let's lift it up. We'll do little circles for 4, 3, 2, and reverse it. 4, 3, try not to move the hips, and take it down. We'll do the other side. Take it back out, float it back up, little circles. 4, 3, you're reaching through your heel and reverse it, and 4, 3, 2, and slowly float back down, sit back in Child's Pose. Child's Pose is a nice stretch that you want to start getting used to. It opens your chest a little bit, it lets you really flex the knees, and lets you rest your head on the mat. Breathe into the back of the ribs again, let them float to the ceiling. Exhale, be heavy. Inhale again. And exhale, be heavy. All right, we're going to take this down to the mat. So go ahead and lie down, and we'll finish with a back extension. This is called flight. Your hands will go to your hips, your legs come together, and they're in Pilates V with your knees turned out and your thighs turned out. Your forehead is just hovering off the mat. We'll try and lift the upper back and the toes off the floor. So lift up, pull your abs in to do so, and gently lift and float back down. Try to keep your abs pulled up to your waistband. You'll lift the head and the toes and just hover them off the mat. Think about being nice and tall and float back down. Do 3 more. Up and lift, abs are lifting, and float back down. And 2 more, lift and hold, and float back down. Trying to wake up those back muscles and that booty again. Lift up and hold. Look just beyond your place where your head was. And float back down, Child's Pose again. Stretching out. Now to finish, we're going to try doing a Pilates Walk Up. So this is an important technique to start learning. You'll tuck your toes and straighten your bottom up into a down dog position. This is called straight legs, straight arms. And looking at your thighs, you'll walk your hands in toward your toes. And use your abs to slowly roll up, kind of like you're peeling back up the wall. So the hands are heavy, the head is heavy, and you roll all the way back up, and shoulder roll back, and you're finished. Thank you for doing this beginner workout, and we'll get on with the next session of month 1 coming up. We'll film that next.